first of all, I'm going to configure, like I'm having one router and I'm going to configure this router with the password. Okay, we'll configure this router with the password. We will configure some of the IP addresses and all this. So there will be the configuration part, and then we'll break the password of this router, right? So let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm having one router, okay, and so this is my router. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah. Now, basically, this router is a completely blank router. Okay, so there is nothing, no password, nothing there. Okay, and now I'm going to configure IP address. I'm going to configure some routing protocol and then password. Okay, and then we will save the configuration. Okay, then we will save the configuration. 1 second. Now, enable. Okay, first of all, I'm going to configure IP address. Yeah, Kausal. Good evening, Kausal. Okay, so let me configure config T interface fast ethernet 0/0. I'm going to configure IP. Okay, 192.168.100.1. Okay, you can go give any IP 255, 255, 2550. Okay, no shut interface fast ethernet 0/1. I'm just giving this IP address that so I can explain you that if we are going to recover password, our configuration will be there. Okay, so I'm just configuring IP address for that, like somehow I want some configuration in the router, right? So no shut. Okay, going to configure any protocol, router, OSPF10, and then network 192.168.0.0.0.0.255 area 0. You can configure any, like, okay, now I want to configure, give me like route host name. Okay, host name CCNA, right? So now it is okay. Now first of all, I want to configure enable password. Okay, I want to configure like this is not best practice, you should configure only enable secret, I know, but I want to configure enable password, and the password should be like CCNA. Give me command, what will be the what will be the command? I want to configure privilege mode password, and what will be the command? Yeah, and this password should be like in a clear text format. Okay, so the password should be in the clear text format. Yeah, can you tell me what will be the command? I want to set enable password. Okay, you have to give me the command. Yes, anyone? Or there is a delay? Hello? Yeah, Rajkumar is there. And the command is like very simple. I just need to configure enable and password. And then I can give, like I'm going to give CCNA, right? Now this password is visible. Yeah. Good evening, Mark. Welcome. So I want to set in a other password with the encrypted format. Yeah, I want to set another password with the encrypted format. Okay, so yes, anyone? I want to set same privilege mode password, but this time the password should be in an encrypted form. Yeah, anyone? Good evening, Pranay. Good evening. I already configured enable password. It is done. Okay, yeah, enable secret and the password. So enable secret, and now the like already there is a CCNA password, so I cannot use same password. So I'm going to configure like CCNP. Okay. Now enable password is done, enable secret is done. Okay. Now I want to configure console password. Yeah. Can anyone tell me what is the procedure, like what is the command to configure console password? I want to configure console password. We already done this. Yeah, we already done this yesterday. That's why I'm asking you. Okay, so I just want to configure enable, like I want to configure console password. Yes. How to configure console password? Anyone? Go to console port and type enable password command, right? Okay. So the command is like line console 0. Okay, and password, you can configure any password. Okay, so I'm going to configure password like a target. Okay, so my password is target, and don't forget to give this login. Yeah, Rajkumar is saying done, but Rajkumar, you forget to explain you like line console 0. This is important. Okay, and now I'm going to configure VTY. I'll type telnet password. Okay, so line VTY 04, and here I'm going to configure password, and you can configure any password for VTY. So let me configure IBM. Okay, so done and login. So now all passwords, like it is now done, and now I am going to verify this using the so running config file. Okay, so here I'm having this enable secret done, enable password is like totally visible, CCNA. Okay, and then if you go over here, so this password is like password is target, and this password is IBM. Yeah, it is visible. It is visible. And I don't want to make it visible. Okay. I don't want to make it visible. So what can I do? Yeah. I want all this password to be encrypted. So what is the procedure? I want to encrypt all the clear text password into the running configuration file. Yeah. What is the procedure? Or what is the command is like which command is required? I can't wait more. So the command is like service password encryption. Okay, now it will encrypt all the passwords, right? It will encrypt all the password. So let me give the command like so run again. And here is like my all the password is now encrypted. Okay, right. So there is a configuration in my router. The password is now in encrypted form. So everything is done. And now I'm going to save this configuration. Yeah. So I can give the command like copy, run, start. Yeah. It means the copy running config into the startup config. Okay. So now it is done. All my configuration has been saved now. Okay. And now it is done. Okay. So you can also use this write command. So now everything is done, and now I'm going to reboot this router. Now I don't want to use this router, so I'm going to reboot. Yeah. So the command is like reload, confirm, and now this router will be reload. Okay. The matter is now I forget the password. Okay. So I forgot the password. I don't remember any password now, and the matter is now I cannot able to log in using telnet. I cannot able to log in using console as well, because I don't have any memory, like in my memory, like totally passwords are now erased. Okay, so I forgot all the password, and now I want to log in. Yeah, I want to log in. So yeah, I don't have any password. Okay, I forgot the password. So the matter is I want to recover this password. Okay, and now the matter is I don't want to lose my configuration. Yeah, I don't want to lose my configuration, because configuration is the most important factor. Okay. So without losing configuration, I want my password recovered. Like I want to recover my password without losing my configuration. This is what my requirement. Okay. So yeah, guys, any idea you have? Any idea? Any idea, guys, you have? Uh, Still working with Windows XP? No, we are not actually. The matter is like if you want to get like remote desktop and then you want to configure like router, there is some switches that not working with Windows 10 and all this. Okay, so that's why I have to use this. Otherwise, suppose if you have Windows 10, you cannot use this control break remotely and all this. There is a problem with this, but with this it is working. Like I am using this machine. Yeah, I'm having Windows 10. Okay, this is like a 16 GB of hard drive, 16 GB of RAM, i7, i5 10th generation, and NVMe NVMe SSD. Right. So this is for the remote for the live router. Yeah. Okay. So the matter is now I just forgot the password, right? So first of all, I cannot I cannot enter inside the router, yeah, because there is no way. Yeah, there is no way. Like if I forgot the password, I cannot enter into the any mode. This is what the biggest problem. Okay. Now, how to solve this problem? Okay, how to solve this problem? To solve this problem, you have to understand the system. Okay, you have to understand the system. The first thing is uh let me open my whiteboard. Yeah, I already explained you some of the points yesterday about the memories of the router and all this, right? So I'm going to explain you some more things about this. See, first of all, when you start your router, yeah, when you start your router, the process of booting process of the router is same like PC. Yeah. So in the PC we have this hard drive. Instead of hard drive we have is a flash. Okay, flash memory which contains the iOS. Second thing is in the PC we have this RAM, we call it DRAM over here. And here we have one separate memory, we call it like NVRAM. And the NVRAM we have this operating system. Okay. So now when you start your router, yeah, when you start your router, the process is like there is a mini iOS, we call it like a bootstrap, okay, which is like a ROM in our computer. Yeah, so it will boot the system. Like bootstrap is like having this command. Yeah, bootstrap is working and start the router. And the first process is like post is like a power on cell trace that are like basically happening in our system. Then what happened, this particular bootstrap, what we call like mini IOI, like mini OS. Okay, mini OS is like a ROM in our system. Then what it will happen, the first thing is this mini iOS will load. Yeah, uh it will load iOS. Yeah, iOS from flash to DRAM. Yeah, it means the RAM iOS will be loaded into the DRAM. And then after, once the iOS will be loaded, okay, then after what will happen, like the configuration, yeah, all the configuration which is in NVRAM, yeah, will be loaded into the DRAM. So the process will be like reverse over here, and the happen is like all the configuration, yeah, all the configuration will be loaded. Configuration will be loaded from NVRAM to DRAM. Okay, and I can say that there will be the reverse process, like configuration in NVRAM is always in a startup config. Okay, so startup config will load into the running config. I can say like this, running config. Okay, and then you will get prompt. Yeah, then you will get this user exe mode and any prompt, right? So this is what the default method in the Cisco router. There is a bootstrap which is like a mini iOS. So whenever you start the router, it will command this, like it will start the startup process. Then when the post will happen, then iOS, which is in the flash memory, will load from the iOS to DRAM, and then once the iOS will be load, all the configuration will be load from NVRAM to DRAM. It means all the configuration will be live. Okay, so this is how the system works. Now this is routine process, and to perform this routine process in the Cisco router, there is a one value, and this is like this value is called is like a configuration registration value. And this process is happens when the configuration registration value is config registration value is a default is like 0x2102. Yeah, this is always default value in any router. If you have any live router or anything, you can find it out. And if you want to find it out, you can use this uh command like show version. Yeah, you can use the command show version. Okay, and I will explain you once our router will start, because right now I cannot able to enter into the router, so I cannot able to give the command show version as well. Okay, so this is how it works. This is like a normal routine process of the Cisco routers, like normal booting process of the Cisco routers, right? Now the matter is, if you forget the router, like if you forget the password, okay, one way is just skip this step. Okay, one way is you can skip this step. Now if you skip this step, if you skip this step, what will happen? The router will start without any configuration. Why? Because router will ignore the NVRAM configuration. Okay, router will ignore the NVRAM configuration. Okay, so keep this in mind what I am saying. What I am saying, I am saying that router will ignore the NVRAM configuration. Okay, it will not delete anything, there will be there. Okay, but the only things happens over here is router will ignore the NVRAM configuration. Okay, so if you can do something, and if router can able to ignore this configuration, you can enter inside the router, you can get this privilege mode or configuration mode, global configuration mode, and then you can reset the password. Okay, so the matter is, if I want to if I want to log in to the router, I have to skip this step. I have to skip this step. This is what my requirement. Okay, now how to skip this step? Now to skip this step, you have to change this value. Okay, you have to change this value. So let me explain you this value first. Now in the router, we have this value, we call it config registration value. It is like config register. And the default value is like a 0x2102. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of 0x? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of 0x? Any idea? Like if there is a 0x in front of any value, what is the meaning of this? If you have ideas, just give me like what is the meaning. If you don't have idea, just say no. So I can go ahead. Anyone? Okay, Kausal is saying no idea. Okay, so see, if there is any value, and here we have the 0x, the meaning of the 0x is just an indicator that the given value, like just after 0x, whatever the value is, this value is hexadecimal value. Okay, this is what the meaning is. Okay, no Rajkumar, no Cisco ID, nothing. The only meaning of this is like any value after 0x is a basically hexadecimal. So you can identify that, like, okay, this value is actually hexadecimal. Otherwise, we have like misperception that this value is maybe like a decimal value, something. Okay, so this is just an indicator. Okay, that 2102 is a hexadecimal. And now anywhere, like this is like a symbol. Okay, that the value is hexadecimal. Okay, now if this value is a hexadecimal, okay, one hexadecimal value like equal to 4 bit. Okay, so we can say that this is a 16-bit value. Okay, this is 16-bit value, right? So let me type this, like let me write this 16-bit. Okay, so we can start with 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15, right? So 0 to 15, it means like a 16. Okay, now in hexadecimal, one, this is like a one, this is like one, this is what 4 bit is, like this is 4 bit. So here I can say that 1 2 3 4. Okay, and okay, 1 2 3 4. Now 1 2 3 4. Okay, so here I'm giving like 4 bit. This is chunk. Okay, now just type this, like I'm converting hexadecimal value into the binary. Okay, I'm just converting hexadecimal into the value into the binary. So here I can say like 2 power of 0, 2 power of 1 2 3. So it will be like 1 2 4 8. 1 2 4 8. 1 2 4 8. 1 2 4 8. This is the way to convert hexadecimal value into the binary. Okay, now this value is 2, so it will be like 0 0 1 0. Yeah, this is like a 2 1, so it will be 0 0 0 1. Okay, 0, it is 0 0 0 0. Okay, and 2, it is like 0 0. Okay, 0 0 1 0. Yeah, so this is the meaning, like it is 2, it is 2 1 0 2. Now each bit like 0 to 15, each bit having some meaning, there is some settings. Okay, and you can find it out on the Cisco documents. Okay, right now we are not going to explain, like I'm not going to explain each and every bit, but here we have one important bit, and here our important bit is 6th bit. Okay, here our important bit is 6th bit. If this bit is 0, yeah, if this bit is 0, the router will load the NVRAM configuration. Okay, if this bit is 0, the router will load the NVRAM configuration, and this process will be like this, and this is what the very normal process. Okay, if the value is 0. Now if this value is 1, okay, if this value is 1, for example, if I'm going to change this value, okay, if this value is 1, okay, then the router will ignore the NVRAM configuration, and you can able to start your router without any configuration. Yeah, so the matter is like I want to break password, that is for sure, but the first thing is like, first of all, I want to enter into the router. If I'm able to enter into the router, I can do anything. Okay, so my first priority is how to enter the router. And if you want to enter into the router, the matter is you have to, like you have to ignore the NVRAM configuration, because in the NVRAM we are having this password. Okay, and we don't, like we forget this password, so we are only way to enter into the router, just ignore the NVRAM configuration. Okay, so I'm just going to make this value as a 1, and all the value will be like normal as it is. So 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1. Okay, this will be 1, other value will be like 0 0 and 0. I just make mistake one over here, like a 4 bit should be there, so 6 bits should be okay required. Okay, so it is like a 0, and here we have like a 1 2 for this. Okay, so it will be like 0. Done. So 0 to 15, right? So here is like a normal, it is 2. Here we have 1. Here we have now 4. Yeah, here we have now 4, and here we have like 2, right? So it is like a 2. So now we have to change this value from 0x 2142. Okay, 2142. So if I'm able to change this value from 0x2102 to 0x2142, yeah, if I'm able to access, like if I'm able to change this value from 0x2102 to 0x2142, yeah, i can able to enter into the router. Okay, so I have to, like, sorry, I forget to start with the 0, so it is like 0 to 15, and then we have this value. Okay, so it is same, like there is nothing effect over here, so total value should be like a 0x21. And I can say that if you don't want to go inside all this technical stuff, I can say that okay, the default value in any Cisco router is 0x2102, and now I want to change this value from 0x2102 to 0x2142. Okay, so this is what my requirement is. And if I'm able to do this, what will happen? Router will skip this step. Okay. And if the router will skip this step, I can log into the router without any password, because router will start with the blank configuration. But the problem is, right now, my problem is how to do this, like how to do this, because it is asking me for password. I don't have any password. Okay. So how to enter the value? Okay. So if you want to go inside this, like if you want to change this value, you have to enter into the ROM monitor mode, or we call it Roman mode. Okay. We call it Roman mode. Okay. So now how to enter into the Roman mode? Okay. Now just understand this. Okay. Why I need to change this? Like I want to so router can ignore the NVRAM. Now I want to change this. To change this value, default is always 2102. To change this value, I have to enter into the uh, ROM monitor mode. Okay. So how to enter into the ROM monitor mode? To enter into the ROM monitor mode, you have to start your router again. Like you have to power up the router, and then we'll talk about switch. Like we will talk about switch later. Right now, this is for router. You can say that this is for router. Okay. So I have to restart my router first, and then during the restart, I have to use this control break. Yeah. I have to use this control break. So let me call VSS and let me inform them to restart, because router is not over here in my office. It is in lab. Okay. So just I'm messaging VSS to restart my router. Okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, it is restarted, and you just need to type control break. Yeah. Control break. Okay. So understand the situation, understand the things. The first is I cannot able to change any value. You can change it if you are in the, yeah, so you have to type like control break. Now when you are in the control break, yeah, when you are in the control break mode, okay, this is like a, when you enter this control break, you will be in the ROM monitor mode. Okay. So now I'm in ROM monitor mode. Now I have to use like to change the value. I can give like this command CONFREG, okay, and 0x2142. Okay. So I just change this value. Okay. I am in ROM monitor mode. How to enter into the ROM monitor mode? You have to press control break. So you have to power cycle off, like you have to power off your router, then restart it again, and then press control break during the restart. Now you have to use this keyboard like a control break within a 30 or 60 second. Okay. After 60 second, it will not work. Okay. So it is done. Now I want to restart my router. So just press I and it will restart the router. Now understand that I just changed this value from 0x2102 to 0x2142. And now what will happen? Now I can able to start my router. Yeah, I can able to start my router, but this time router will skip this configuration step. Okay. Router will skip this configuration step. So my router will start, but without any configuration. Okay. So let's wait. It is starting, and let's wait. Yeah. See, would you like to enter in initial configure dialog? Now we are getting this screen. Why? Because actually now my router is thinking that I don't have, yeah, I don't have any configuration. So that's why it is asking me for the configuration dialog. Okay, it's that do you want to, like, do you want help? Do you want to run this wizard? So we will configure your router step by step. Okay. So keep this in mind whenever you get this particular number, like whenever you get this system configuration dialog, either your router is totally blank, there is no configuration, or maybe the configuration value of your router, config registration value of your router, maybe it is like 0x2142. Yeah, 0x2142. So now I don't want any help from this Cisco configuration dialog. Okay, because I want to break my password. This is what my target is. So I'm saying no over here. And now see this. Okay, yeah, control break, Rajkumar, control break. See this, now I'm able to log into the router. See, okay, enable. So IP interface brief, like I'm able to give any command, but the problem is I just got completely blank router. Okay, I just got completely blank router. It means I just lose my configuration. Yeah, I just lose configuration. Okay, so this is not the point. I want my configuration back and I want to break the password. This is what my requirement is, right? So here we have our configuration there in the nvram in the startup configuration file. We just started our router by ignoring this nvram configuration. Yeah, just ignoring this nvram configuration. Okay, so if you want to verify your configuration, you can go and check the source startup config. Yeah, source startup config. See here, I'm having this configuration. Like this is my enable secret, this is my enable password, this is my IP address. I configure this OSPF as well. So this is OSPF configuration. So configuration is there, but the problem is my old password is now in encrypted format. Yeah, I just use this command service password encryption. So all this password is not visible. Yeah, all this password is not visible. You have your password, you have your configuration in front of you. Okay, now what you will do? Any idea, guys? Like anyone can tell me like what will be the step now? Yeah, what will be the step? See, I'm having configuration and everything. Okay, but but how to use this will be the turning point over here. Yeah, this will be the turning point over here. Anyone can give me idea like what will be the next step? Maybe you done CCNA, something like you having knowledge of this. Yeah, this is like a most crucial point, like people required to use this. So anyone can give me any idea? Yes, if you don't have any idea, you can say no, go ahead. Yeah, I can go ahead. Anyone? Okay. Okay, so what I am saying now, yeah, whatever I'm saying now, please keep this in mind. This is really very important. Okay, if you make any mistake over here, okay, if you make any mistake over here, you may lose. Yeah, you may lose your configuration. Yeah, you may lose your configuration. So here, what we can do is, first of all, if you're going to set new password, actually you are doing mistake. Okay, suppose if I'm going to configure new password like config t and enable password and everything, I will making mistake. Yeah, I'm making mistake. Why I'm making mistake? Because this password will be stored in the running config, and once if this password will be stored in the running config and then I will copy this running config into the startup to make it permanent, I will lose all the configuration, right? So keep this in mind, that the configuration must be there. We do not want to lose our configuration, right? So the first step after entering into the router you have to perform is, here we will do this reverse process: copy startup config into the running config. Yeah, copy startup config to running configuration. So when I will enter this command, all the configuration will be back. See, I got this name CCNA over here. Okay, so IP interface brief, I got my IP address back. Okay, so IP protocol, I got my OSPF configuration is now okay, right? But now I cannot exit from the router. If I will exit from the router and then if I want to enter again, it will ask me for the password, right? So now quickly change all your password, right? So going to change my password, enable secret. Okay, I'm going to set password like Indian line console 0, password Indian login line VTY04, password Indian login. Yeah, done. And enable password, like if you want to change it, otherwise it is okay. Okay, because we already configured this enable secret. So my configuration is there. I just change all the password. Now you have to copy this, copy running config into the startup config. Okay. So now all the configuration has been saved permanently and it is done. Okay, there is a configuration is there, but keep this in mind, what is the value? Okay, so you have to go to the command and give show version command, and here you will get this detail about your configuration registration value. So now the configuration registration value is 0x2142. Yeah. So configuration registration value is 0x2142. So what will happen if I will reload router now? Yeah. If I will reload router now, again the process will happen normally, and my router will not load this value. Configuration will not load into the NVRAM, and at the end I will not get my configuration. So router will ignore the NVRAM again. So I don't want to do this, and that's why, okay, that's why I'm going to change this value. Now to change this value, I do not need to go there on the ROM monitor mode. I can go over here and give the config register, and you just change like a 2102. Yeah. So now I just got my point, my requirement is done. I just changed my password and everything, and now I can say that, okay, now reload your process will be like normal. Okay, and then exit. And if you want to type like write, save, you can use any, and then save the configuration, and now again reload your router. Yeah, you can reload from here also, and now verify this. Okay, so let's wait, and then we'll get our password back, and we will get our configuration back also. Okay, so see this. Yeah, it will not ask me anything, like the value will be like normal 0x2102. So it will not ask me about like, do you want to start your router into the using this wizard and anything. Okay, so it will be very normal process. Okay, yeah, I got my router back, and now I'm going to enter into the router. Okay, and this time, okay, I'm going to use password Indian. I'm able to logged in. I got my host name back. Enable Indian. Okay, again I'm able to log into the configuration mode. Here I can give the command like show IP protocol, show IP interface brief. Okay, so I just change my password. Okay, I can able to change my password without losing any configuration, right? So this is how we can break the configuration like password. And yeah, if you want to break the password for switches, there will be some different, like there is little different techniques that we can use. Okay, if possible I will explain you this also. Okay, so now if you have any questions, or if you're able to understand this, just say yes, so I can go for the next step. Yes, Kausal, thank you for wow. And just understand the concept. Okay, the default value is always 0x2102. Now if the default value if is like 2102, yeah, if this value is like 0x2102, it will be like normal process. Normal process means bootstrap post, then router will load the iOS from flash to DRAM, and then it will load the configuration. Now if you want to break the password, you have to change this change this meta. And here it is what is the meaning of 0x2102. So we have like 0 to 15, it is like a 16 bit, and then there is a 1248. So we can use this value over here, and you just need to change the 6 bit. Now if you are changing 6 bit, the value is like 0x2142. Now if you change this value from 0x2102 to 0x2142, okay, what will happen? Router will not perform this step, or even I can say that router will skip this step, right? So once the router will skip this step, you can able to log into the router, and then you have to copy the startup config file into the running config. But how to change this value? To change the value, you have to go to the ROM monitor mode, and inside this ROM monitor mode, you can use to go inside the ROM monitor mode. To log into the ROM monitor mode, you have to use control break, and press control break during the startup of your router within a 60-second, right? Once you enter over there, you have to go use the command like confreg and 0x2142, and then you can change this value. Okay, so this is how the system works. And now I want to give you one of the brief normal one introduction, that like how the telnet works. Okay, how the telnet works. So this is done. Now I don't think like you have guys like any questions. Okay, so now I'm going to give you one small demonstration. Okay, and the demonstration is like, see, right now I'm on my system now. Yeah, now this is over. Now I don't want to work with this computer, so I'm going to close this. Yeah, then now I'm going to give you like, see this, here I'm in my computer, and here I'm going to telnet my router. Okay, I'm going to telnet my router. So this is my system, this is my computer, and I'm going to telnet my router. See this 192.168.123.1. Okay, this is my router. Username is Bhavesh. Password is like CCNA. Okay, so see this, I am able to log into the system, right? So like you already knows about this. Yeah, this is my live router that I'm using right now. The internet of my system is actually coming from here, and if I want to manage this router, I'm using this telnet. Yeah, I'm using this telnet. So here, using telnet, I'm able to access my router. But guys, telnet is actually not secure. Yeah, telnet is actually not secure. So I want to demonstrate that the telnet is actually not secret, not secure. Okay, so how can I demonstrate this? So you can use one tool, we call it wireshark. Yeah, you can use this tool, we call it wireshark. Now wireshark is used to capture the data. Yeah, wireshark is used to capture the data. So for example, if I want to capture the data which is passing through my network interface card, I can use this wireshark. Now I'm having some logical and many physical interface, but here is like ethernet, and see this, like data is passing through ethernet. There are lots of data is passing through ethernet. Why? Because my session with you guys is like all the data session is working over here. So basically this is the Zoom traffic. Yeah, this is a Zoom traffic which is going on. Yeah, which is going on. So now it is capturing everything, and now let me go and log into the telnet. Yeah, so I'm going to use this. Okay, so see this, I'm going to telnet. Okay, 192.168.123.1. here is the username. Yeah, username is Bhavesh, and I'm going to enter password. Okay, so done. I just enter the password. Now config T. Okay, exit. So IP interface brief. Okay, so there is telnet traffic is also going there, and now okay, my session is done, and I'm going to close this. Okay, now this packet, like this capturing tool, capture many things. Yeah, so there is a packet has been captured over here, and I have to find it out, this packet. Okay, so I'm having like lots of packet of Zoom and all this. So let me find out this. Okay, see here, when you type this telnet, you will get the packets like telnet packets, and here you will get this data. Okay, here you will get this data. Now keep this in mind. Okay, this is like a very small screen, but check this. Are you getting this? A user access verification username. Yeah. See this. Okay. I'm just moving towards over here, and see over here. Read over here. See this. Okay. Concentrate over here. This is what B H A V E S H. This is what my password, right? Bhavesh. Okay. And then password. Yeah, we are getting this password. CCNA. Got it? See this. Yeah, CCNA. And if you want to verify this, okay, if you want to verify this, you can like CMD telnet 192.168.123.1. Yeah, username is Bhavesh. Here is like a CCNA is password, and go to so running config. Yeah, here is like a username is Bhavesh and password is CCNA. Okay, so the problem with the telnet is this is not secure at all. Yeah. Kaushal is saying now telnet is not secure 100%. Yeah, people are saying this like telnet is not secure. I just demonstrate you like say telnet is not secure, right? So you must require some secure system, and the secure is SSH. Okay, secure is SSH. So if I will configure SSH for the remote management, for the remote management of my router, This will be good. And always use, yeah, always use SSH instead of telnet. Okay, always use SSH instead of telnet. Okay, so not now. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about how to SSH our router, how to enable SSH, and then we will also verify that if I'm going to use this SSH, can I able to capture the password or not, right? Now if you learn this way, you can able to understand that, and if someone asks you anytime that is telnet is secure or SSH, you can say that yes, SSH is more secure, because I just give you demonstration that like password is totally visible when you are using telnet, and if you able to capture the data, right? So this is how the system works. Tomorrow we'll talk about SSH. Okay, and then there will be one important topic, we call it triple A. Yeah, authentication, authorization, and accounting. So tomorrow will be like a very important day, and you will understand the entire process of like a Taka servers and all this. Yeah, yes, SSH is more secure than the telnet, and I will demonstrate this also. Okay, so only 4 minutes left, so going to complete our session. Thank you very much. Please share this video if you can, and